Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bill Smith. I manage the Northern New Jersey region for auction.com. Welcome for our Hudson, Bergen, and Union County monthly pre-auction online review. I have about 20 assets that are going to sell from these particular counties. These assets will be going to sell the week of August 27th. So you have plenty of time to do your due diligence. So without further ado, I will get my expert panel here for the review of these assets. Luis?
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like always, we're here to give you guys the best and most relevant information to help you guys make that educated decision at these sheriff sales. Today on our panel, we have a group of professionals that are going to guide you every step of the way. I'm going to start all the way down to my left with Jim. Go ahead.
Yes, hello, I'm Jim Thorpe from Jersey Strong Construction. We're a full-service construction management company. We help our customers with review of the properties through design through finish.
I'm David Weintraub with First Equity Funding based here in New Jersey. We are hard money lenders. We do all types of loans, bridge loans, any type of acquisition, single family, mixed use, multifamily, commercial properties, help you get funded and pay for rehab as well.
And I'm Greg Petrosky. I'm here with Fortune Title. I'm your title specialist. We do title insurance in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We specialize in foreclosure and short sales. So this is really what we do most of the day. We do most of New Jersey's foreclosure work.
My name is Louis Leyva. I'm the broker and CEO of Culture Estate. We're located in Scotch Plains, where we're holding this event today. We help investors and seasoned and both brand new investors get their hands on the best properties in the market. We also help them make sure that they don't make any mistakes along the way. So if anyone's looking to get some more information on that, you could always find us at Culture Estate. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our presentation for the day. Okay, we're going to start with our first property at 277 Mary Street in Hackensack. This property is approximately 1,729 square feet and has an approximate debt owed to the lender of $644,637. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide. Okay, so this home has been classified as a bi-level with 4 bedrooms and 4 baths. This home was built back in 1950, so it's not that old of a home in New Jersey standards. It was renovated recently. It has a living area of 1,729 square feet. The taxes on this property are approximately $9,917 per year. This home can be resold for about $360,000 when it's in good condition. You may want to budget just about $30,000 for renovations. It looks like it's in good shape. And you can get about $2,600 in rent for this home if you decide to take that direction. Okay.
All right, on the title side, title looks to be clear from what we have here, from the information provided. The one thing you're going to hear me say over and over again today is check your taxes. Like on this property right now, the taxes are close to $10,000. When you do buy a sheriff's sale, usually you're buying the first mortgage. And when that happens, just about everything behind it gets wiped out. Two of the things that don't get wiped out normally are condo liens and taxes. Any open taxes you will owe. So make sure you always call the municipality and find out what's owed. It can be as much as a quarter to 2 to 3 years. So make sure you call and find out what is actually owed on taxes. Other than that, that seems to be clear.
Based on the purchase amount of this property, you can expect to get up to anywhere between $200,000 and $225,000 for acquisition, $30,000 in rehab for a total loan amount of $270,000. That's based on getting up to 75% of the as repaired value of $360,000.
Yes, the overall exterior of this house was found to be in above average condition. The roof has a timberline type roof in excellent condition. The siding of the house is vinyl and above average condition. Windows are vinyl replacements, which appear to be in decent condition. And the property itself is in average condition, but the driveway needs to be replaced.
How much is the driveway?
Okay, our next property now is located at 360 River Drive in Garfield. This home is approximately 2,094 square feet and has an estimated debt of $457,013 owed to the bank. On the next slide, we're going to see that this home is actually a 2-family home with 4 beds and 2 baths. It does need work. This home has been in flood before during Irene. So you are going to also need flood insurance for this property. This home was, the home was listed on the MLS in 2012 as well. So if you need to find out more data, you can always revert back to that. And the taxes for this home are approximately $6,336 per year. The home can be resold for $385,000 when it's in good condition. You may want to budget $80,000 for repairs, and the rent for this home can be around $3,000 per month.
All right, for title on this property, everything seems to check out what we have here. This pen adds up. Just make sure you call and check on the taxes for this property.
You can get up to about $200,000 for the purchase of this property and the $80,000 renovation for a total loan amount of around $290,000 based on the repair value of $385,000.
The exterior of this house is vinyl siding, which was found to be in poor condition. In front of its buckling should be replaced, repaired. The windows are older. They look functional, but could use to be upgraded to newer energy efficient. And the roof is timberline type, which was in fair condition.
Our next property is 49 Miller Street in Saddlebrook Township. This home is approximately 1,228 square feet. The estimated debt on this home is $246,178, so that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide and see what other information we found. Okay, this home is classified as a single family with 4 beds and 1 bath. It's a Cape Cod style home. It's in good condition as per the MLS. Has a large updated kitchen, so that's always an added benefit. And this home could be easily expanded as well since it's a Cape Cod. This home was listed last on MLS in 2002. The taxes for this home are approximately $6,391 per year. The home can be resold for $360,000 when it's in good condition. The home may need up to 40 grand in repairs if you do need to make repairs. And you can get about $2,100 in rent per month. Now, since this home only has estimated debt of 200 in the low 200s or the mid 200s, it may be a good deal, a good property to keep your eye on because they're not going to start any higher than what they're owed. So keep an eye on this one for sure.
And honestly, title looks good on this. Just make sure you call and check and see what's on our taxes.
Based on the estimated purchase amount of $243,000, you can get a loan of around maxed out around $219,000 for purchase, $40,000 worth of rehab, as we mentioned, fits in, and overall loan amount, max loan amount of $270,000 based on the ARV of $360,000, and you get a basketball too. So.
The exterior of this house is found to be in an excellent above average condition. The roof's a new timberline type. Siding is vinyl in new condition. The windows look to be new replacements. The exterior of the property is well maintained, and it actually looks like the house was recently renovated on the exterior.
Yeah, next property now is 47 Birch Street in Ridgefield Park. This is a townhouse style condo. It has approximately 1,485 square feet as per this record. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. Okay, so the data we found on the MLS stated that this property is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, but it's a larger unit. This unit is about 1,585 square feet. Also, the maintenance fees here, I'm sorry, for the association here, you need to upfront 2 months of the maintenance fee when you first acquire the property. And the taxes for this property are approximately $10,674 per year. This home can be resold for $360,000. You may want to do some cleanup and painting. It could cost you as much as $30,000 if it needs repairs, and you can rent this property for about $2,800.
All right, for title on this property, unfortunately, I don't really have much title information, so I can't speak on the clarity of the title, but there are 2 big points here. One, taxes, because the taxes are over 10 grand, so make sure you call. And 2, it's a condo. Condos open up a whole door of cost to you, possibly. It depends on the association, but you could owe up to 6 months of condo dues. So your best bet on condos is to contact the association, find out what the costs are, find out what's owed on it. Like I said, you could owe up to 6 months and find out what the move-in fees are, capital contributions. There are other costs with buying a condo that you really may not be able to figure into the sale and post-closing. So make sure you get the condo association to call and find out what's going on behind the scenes.
And the lender's going to ask for the condo questionnaire to get filled out to make sure there's nothing legal outstanding against the association. If it's something simple that their insurance policy covered, if they have some kind of litigation against them, then a lender's not going to care that much. But if it's something grand that could affect the entirety of the building, then you might have a problem getting a loan. But based on and it's rarely a problem, but it could be a problem. And sometimes as well, lenders, the association won't allow you to take a condo in the name of an LLC, so make sure that that's the case. If you have to get a loan in your own personal name, that could affect we do work with people who take it in their own name, so it's not as big a deal for us, but every lender has different criteria. Based on the as-is price range of $250,000, you can get up to around $225,000 on the purchase, $30,000 on the rehab, a total loan amount of $270,000, which would be 75% of the guesstimated after fair value of $360,000.
Yeah, basically on this one, the exterior of the complex was in well-maintained condition. That's what that is.
Our next property now is 476 Columbia Boulevard in Woodbridge, New Jersey. This home is approximately 1,907 square feet. Let's go ahead and jump into the next slide. Okay, this home is actually a two-family home with 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. This home was built back in the 1940s and it's in a fantastic location as per the MLS. The living area on this property, according to the records we found, is 1,639 square feet, and the taxes are $11,033 per year. This home can be resold for approximately $405,000. You may want to budget $50,000 for repairs, and you can get as much as $4,000 in rent for this home.
All right, title-wise, there's a little bit of information on this, but from what I can see here, it looks like it's the first mortgage, the only thing on the property itself. Other than that, make sure you check your taxes on this one.
Again, based on the as-is price range of $270,000, expect to get a max loan amount around $243,000 for the purchase, $50,000 for the rehab, total loan amount around $302,000 based on the after fair value of $405,000. This looks like a pretty good buy and hold property if these numbers hold.
This house actually looked vacant too. And the vinyl siding on the house was found to be in average condition. The roof is a timberline type in good condition. The windows look to be in good condition. Windows look to be functional but may need to be upgraded. The property needs landscaping TLC, but has potential. There was no other visible signs of repairs needed to the exterior.
Okay, our next property now is 50 Westington Avenue in Garfield. This home is approximately 1,394 square feet. The approximate debt owed on this property is $580,616. Let's see what other information we're able to pull up. All right, so this home is actually classified as a two-family home with 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. This home was built between 1900 to 1939. We have some conflicting information. The approximate lot size, the approximate living area of this home is 1,639 square feet. The tax amount is $75.50 per year. This home can be resold for around $300,000 when it's in good condition. Budget $30,000 for repairs, and you can get about $2,000 in rent.
And title seems to check out from what we have here. It's good. Make sure you call and check on the taxes.
Based on the as-is price range of $205,000, you can get around $180,000, $185,000 for purchase, $30,000 for rehab and work. Overall loan amount, I would say $225,000 based on the ARV of $300,000.
The roof on this house was an older 3-tab roof, which was found to be in below average condition and may need to be replaced. The siding was vinyl. It looks to have been recently done along with the fascia boards and trim wrap. The windows look to be older vinyl replacements. Front steps are in average condition. They look to be recently replaced. The overall condition of the property and house are above average. Other than the roof, there was no other visible signs of repairs needed.
Our next property now is 133 Mill Street in Elmwood Park. I'm sorry, just Elmwood, New Jersey. This home is approximately 2,535 square feet. Let's go ahead and see what other information we're able to pull up.
Is there Elwood?
I don't know.
This should be Elwood Park, right?
Yeah, that's what I have here. Okay, so correction, this is Elmwood Park, 133 Mill Street in Elmwood Park. This home appears to be a 2-family home with 4 beds, 3 baths. This home has a has been renovated, and the first floor has new tiles, updated eating kitchen, and new appliances, so the home is probably in very good condition. The taxes on this home are very low, $7,550 per year. This home can be resold as much as $650,000. You may need very little work, if any, so budget $30,000 for repairs. You can get around $4,000 in rent at the very minimum.
All right, title on this property seems to be clear when it comes to when the LP was filed. The last purchase I see on this was actually surprisingly back in 2006 for $55,000, which I don't know how that is. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Other than that, make sure you call and check your taxes.
Yeah, here we are. I know. Something went awry. Based on the as-is price range of $480,000, you could get up to a pretty good loan amount on that, especially if it doesn't need a lot of work, almost up to $440,000 for purchase, $30,000 for the rehab. Again, total loan amount around almost close to $490,000.
The roof on this house is a 3-tab type, which was found to be in below average condition and may need to be replaced. The siding of the house is vinyl and average condition, just need a power washing. The windows look to be older vinyl replacements. Front steps and brick face are in above average condition, and the landscape of the property is in average condition, just needs some TLC.
Elmwood Park is also East Patterson, I believe.
Is it really? Oh, they named it. They renamed it.
They renamed it, right, East Patterson. They wanted a little separation from Patterson back in the day.
Yeah, we're playing basketball at high school. I know the experience. For a white kid.
Okay, our next property now is 113 Belmont Street in Inglewood. This home is approximately 1,498 square feet. Let's go ahead and see what else we were able to find. Okay, this home has 3 bedrooms. It's a single family with 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. The Cape Cod style home. It's in good condition as per the MLS, and it has hardwood floors, large kitchen, nice deck with wheelchair accessibility. It has a huge backyard. The taxes on this home are $6,853 per year. The home can be resold for $380,000 when it's in good condition, and you may need about $30,000 for repairs, and you should get just around $2,200 a month for rent.
All right, from what we have provided the title, everything seems to check out. Once again, just make sure you call and check those taxes.
Property like this, based on the as-is price range of $268,000, you can get $240,000 to $250,000 up to for purchase, $30,000 rehab budget, total loan amount of $285,000 based on the ARV of $308,000.
Overall, the house is found to be in average condition. The roof's an older 3-tab, which was in average condition, looks to still be functional. The siding of the house is aluminum in decent shape. The windows are older vinyl replacements. The property is maintained in an average condition, and there was no other visible signs of repairs needed to the exterior.
That would be, I give it a 5 or 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people.
Not a private
school. I was going to say, I remember that.
All right, our next property is 2 Ferndale Court in Lodi. This home is approximately 1,300 square feet. It has an estimated debt of $575,477. Let's go ahead and check our next slide. Okay, not too much data we're able to pull up on this other than the home being a single family home and having an approximate square footage of 1,300 square feet. The home was built in 1942 and has $9,084 in taxes per year. This home can be resold for $425,000 when it's in good condition. You may want to budget at least $35,000 for repairs, and you can get about $2,800 in rent for this home.
The only info I have on this title was first mortgage for $332,000. Other than that, everything else seems to check out. Just make sure you call on this one and check your taxes.
Based on the as-is price range of $300,000, you can get up to 90%, which is $270,000 for purchase. I keep mentioning that that number kind of fluctuates. Sometimes you can get even more. There are lenders out there that are lending, they're advancing rehab as well to kind of limit your down payments. You can possibly even get $280,000 for a purchase like this. With full rehab amount, $35,000 as well. Total loan amount of $320,000 based on the ARV of $425,000.
Right. The roof on this house is also an older 3-tab which is found to be in average condition. The siding of the house is in decent shape, could use cleaning or painting. The windows look to be vinyl replacements in decent shape. Front porch steps are in above average condition. Overall, the house and property are in average condition, and there was no other visible signs of repairs needed to the exterior.
Okay, our next property is 26-19 Kip Street in Fairlawn. This home is approximately 1,800 square feet. Let's look at our next slide. Okay, the data we found in this home was prior to the addition that was added on the second floor. At one point, this home was a ranch and it had 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. As far as what it has now, the bedroom count, we're not certain of. I did have a small guest apartment in the basement as well that might still be intact. It also had a new roof, which is probably not there anymore because you would need to put a second addition on a second floor addition. The driveway was in good shape, furnace was in good shape, hot water heater as well, and the AC compressor. So this home has had several upgrades and it's probably in very, very good condition. This home can be sold for about $350,000 when it's in good condition, which it looks to be. And you may want to still budget maybe 30 grand in repairs if you need any repairs at all. This home can be rented for about $3,800 a month if you go that if you decide to go in that direction.
Title-wise, everything seems to check out. There is one little thing on here. When you go to sale, I would just make sure you find out which mortgage they're foreclosing on. They should announce it because according to the history, there was a $331,000 loan taken in 2006. So in 2009, there was a $307,000 loan, which adds up to a lot of money. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, make sure you call and check out your taxes. Again, based on the as-is of $243,000, you can get up to almost $220,000 for the purchase of this property. As Lewis pointed out, it seems to have had a lot of upgrades. I had mentioned before, certain lenders are willing to advance you some of the rehab money at close, especially if the upgrades are minimal. So based on the ARV of $350,000, you can get a total loan amount of around $265,000.
Roof on this house is a timberline type roof, which looked to be new. So the front of the house is stucco in average condition. The remaining of the house is vinyl siding in average condition with just use for cleaning. Windows look to be new vinyl replacements. Front porch could use some stucco repair. And there was no other visible signs of repairs needed.
We see a lot of loans in Fairlawn.
Okay, our next property now is 10 Chestnut Street in North Arlington. This home is approximately 1,496 square feet. Let's see what other information we're able to find. Okay, this home is confirmed to be a single family with 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. And the living area is confirmed 1,496 square feet. Home was built somewhere between 1900 and 1939. Total tax amount for this home is $7,333 per year. This home can be resold for about $365,000, budget $45 grand for repairs, and you can get about $2,400 for rent.
All right, this is another one of those properties that's a little bit interesting when it comes to title. Make sure you pay attention and find out which lien they are closing on. It should be the first, and normally is the first, but as per the title issue that was provided here, there's a first, second, and third mortgage on this property. Second mortgage being more than the first, so that kind of raises a red flag. It's a little interesting. So make sure you check your taxes, and I'll get into this later, but this is one of those properties you might want to get a investor search done on, which we offer, just to find out the history of these liens and who's actually in what position and which one they're actually foreclosing on.
Based on the as-is value of this property of $237,000, expect to get a max of around $213,000 for purchase. Get the $45,000 in rehab for the total loan amount of around $275,000 based on $365,000 ARV.
This house has a 3-tab roof, which is in poor condition and needs to be replaced. The siding is vinyl in average condition. The windows look to be older wood and should be replaced or upgraded to new energy efficient.
The next property now is 574 Morse Avenue in Richfield, New Jersey. This home is a Cape Cod style home and approximately 1,367 square feet. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. Okay, so it was confirmed to be a single family. This home has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. The living area is 1,367 square feet. Home is a walking distance to public schools and easy commute to major highways. Home was built in the 1950s and has approximately $6,259 in taxes per year. The home can be resold for $410,000 when it's in good condition. You may want to budget at least $45,000 for repairs, and you can get about $2,500 a month in rent.
All right, this is another one that's interesting to have. There's a first, second, third mortgage on this one, according to the info we have here too. So I mean, it ends up for purchase money when they bought the property, and it looks like they took out a third for, I guess, renovations. I'm not sure, but it's for $111,000. So it's a good amount of money. Other than that, make sure you check the taxes on this property.
Yeah, based on the as is of $277,500, expect to get a max of around $250,000 for purchase. The repair estimate, you would get at $45,000 as well, all falling under the after repair value of $410,000. Expect you would get a max loan amount of around $307,000.
Roof on this house is an older 3-tab roof in poor condition. It needs to be replaced. The front brickwork is in average condition, needs power washing and painting. The vinyl siding on the remaining house is in decent shape, doesn't need power washing. The windows look to be new vinyl replacements in good shape. The garage doors in poor condition, needs to be replaced. And the gutters look in decent shape, but they need cleaning.
Okay, our next property now is located at 36 Bergen Avenue in Wyckoff, New Jersey. This home is approximately 1,656 square feet and has an estimated debt of $508,445. Let's go ahead and look at our next slide. Okay, so the information we're able to pull up on this home states that it is confirmed to be a single family home with 4 bedrooms and 1 bath. And the living area is 1,656 square feet. It is a large Cape Cod on a 75 by 54 lot. Home was built back in the 1950s, and the total tax on this home is $9,383 per year. This home is located in a nice community, so the values are a little bit higher. This home can be resold for about $650,000. You may want to budget $40,000 for repairs, and you can get as much as $4,200 in rent per month on this home.
And everything seems to add up on this property. Just make sure you go and check your taxes.
Based on the as-is value of this property, you can get up to $420,000 for a purchase loan, maybe even a little more. A rehab budget of $40,000 would fit within the total loan amount of around $485,000 based on a $650,000 ARV.
This one, the overall condition of the house itself is found to be in above average condition with a new timberline type roof. The siding is in decent shape. The windows look to be older vinyl replacements in good condition. Back door of the house looks damaged and might need to be replaced. But the retaining wall and the driveway and steps from the driveway are in poor condition and need to be replaced or repaired.
Okay, our next property now is located at 31 Bilton Street in Teaneck, New Jersey. This home has approximately 1,404 square feet. The estimated debt is $260,926. Looking at our next slide, we're able to confirm that this home is a single family, has 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. The living area is 1,404 square feet. This home was listed as a short sale on the MLS. The home was also built in the early 1900s, so you want to be careful with everything that comes along with that, such as asbestos, oil tanks, and those types of things. This home's tax per year is $6,528. This home can be resold for around $325,000 when it's renovated. Budget at least $50,000 for repairs, and you can get around $1,500 in rent a month, if not more.
And it all in this is dry. It seems to be your first mortgage. That's about it. Just make sure you call and check on those taxes.
You can get up to about $191,000 for the purchase of this property and $50,000 of rehab as well for a total max loan amount around $245,000.
Overall, this house was found to be in poor condition. The roof is in good shape. The roof is in good shape, but the rest of the house needs work. Wood shake siding is in poor condition, needs to be replaced. The windows are old wood type and need to be replaced, and the property needs a lot of TLC.
Okay, our next property now is 222 69th Street in Bergen. This home is approximately 1,715 square feet. Let's go ahead and see what other information we were able to find. So this home is confirmed to be a two-family with 4 beds and 2 baths. This home has approximate square footage of 1,715 square feet. This home was listed as a short sale, and it did have an offer accepted as of June of this year. And the total taxes on this home are $8,857 per year. The home can be resold for around $325,000. When it's in good condition, you may want to budget $60,000 for repairs, and you can get around $3,000 a month in rent.
All right, from what I see here for title, this is for a set of mortgage on the property. Everything else seems to check out. Just make sure you call and check those taxes.
You can get about $180,000, maybe more, for the purchase of this property. Rehab amount of $60,000 would fit into the budget for a total loan amount of $244,000 based on that ARV.
The stone face in the house has water stains under the air conditioners, which need to be power washed and cleaned. As long as the stains are just from the AC, the stone face is in average condition. Windows are old wood pane, and I recommend replacing with energy efficient. The roof on the overhang needs to be replaced. The corbels at the top front look to be in good condition, just need paint, and couldn't see the roof from the street. And front has aluminum wrap on fascia and trip edge, which may be recent.
Excuse me, Luis, any concerns with this short sale offer accepted 2 months ago? That raising any flags or any?
Yeah, the concerns that I normally see when there is a listing in place and it's under contract is that it's probably going to get adjourned a bunch of times. So it may not go for sale the first time around or second time around. But if they can't get the judge to side with them or the bank to side with the offer, it's eventually going to go to sheriff's sale. So it may not go the first time around, but you will see it eventually if it doesn't get sold.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, disconnect.
Okay.
That's just it.
No. There you go.
Next property, 08 Hillside Place in North Bergen. This home is approximately 1,960 square feet. On this slide, we're able to confirm that the home is a two-family with 5 bedrooms and 2 baths. There is approximately 1,960 square feet in this home. It's well maintained. It also has a pool. It doesn't mention whether it's above or underground. It is close to schools, shopping, and transportation. The total taxes on this home are $5,686 per year. This home can be resold for around $400,000 when it's in good condition. Budget at the very minimum of $40,000 in repairs, and you can get about $3,600 in rent on this property.
All right. And on title, there is quite a issue on title with this when it comes to mortgages. But from what I can see here, the only thing outstanding is the first mortgage. So title seems to be pretty clear from what we have. Just make sure you call and double check those taxes.
You can get close to $250,000 for the purchase of this property, $40,000 in rehab as well. The ARV of $400,000, you could get a max loan amount of $300,000 based on 75% of the $400,000.
Vinyl siding in this house is in average condition. The windows are vinyl replacements, which look to be in above average condition. The roof wasn't visible from the street, and the stone face above the porch was in average condition, but the stone face under the porch is in poor condition, needs repairs. And my only concern with that is if it's structural or not around that doorway.
Our next property now is 141 Bergen Avenue, New Jersey City. Home's approximately 2,612 square feet. The estimated debt on this home is $249,918. Let's go ahead and jump into our next slide. Okay, this is a two-family home with 5 beds, 3 baths. That has 3 stories with a living area of 2,612 square feet. It's close to NJCU, also Auburn Park, and buses for transportation. It has a bonus living space on the 3rd floor, which is always good for rent. The taxes on this home are $7,901 per year. This home can be resold for around $498,000 when it's in good condition, but at the very minimum, $45,000 in repairs, and you can get about $3,000 a month in rent for this property.
All right, on this property, I just see the first mortgage against it. Other than that, everything seems to be clear. Just make sure you call and check on those taxes.
You can get up to $313,000, 90% of the $348,000 for the purchase of this property, $45,000 for the repair estimate. So Louis said that you possibly could need a little more, but based on the almost $500,000 ARV, you can get around $275,000 overall loan amount for this property.
Actually, I don't have a report on this one. I had the wrong address, I think, on that.
Tell us what you think.
Looks like a nice brick building.
He did a lot.
Yeah, no. This one looks like the front door needs to be replaced there. The bricks don't look bad. From the picture, you can't tell the roof, but the windows look to be old wooden ones. You probably want to replace those. But it doesn't look too, doesn't look like a bad problem.
Nice looking place. Not to mention they only owe $250.
Yeah.
See you next Thursday.
Sure. Our next property now is 287 Old Bergen Road in Jersey City. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into that next slide. This is a newer construction 2-family with 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. And this home has a approximate square footage of 2,879 square feet. It was built back in 2002, and the taxes on this home are $15,210 per year. This home can be resold for around $375,000, budget $40,000 for repairs, and you can get around $3,600 in rent. Right back.
All right, title on this house was sold quite a few times in the past. Last one was 2009 for 409. There's a first mortgage, so title seems to be pretty clear on this. Just make sure you call and check those taxes because they are $15,000 a year.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen this property before, but you can get estimated you can get up to $235,000 for the purchase of this property. You can get your rehab estimate of $40,000 as well, for a total loan amount of no more than $282,000 on this property. I say that because your purchase price and your rehab all has to come within $280,000 based on the ARV of $375,000.
The exterior of this house is kind of being above average condition. The brick face is in great condition. The remainder of the house is vinyl, and that's average condition. The roof's in good condition. The only thing I can see was the railings on the porch have some rust and need to be painted. That's about it.
Could come back up.
Next property now is 19 Orient Avenue in Jersey City. Let's go ahead and see the next slide and see what other information we found. This home is also a 2-family with 7 bedrooms and 3 baths. The number of stories on this one is 2-story. The living space in this home is 2,775 square feet. Taxes are just under $6,000 a year. The home can be resold for $287,000 when it's in good condition, budget $40,000 for repairs, and you can get around $2,000 a month in rent.
All right, and title on this seems to be clear. It only looks like the first mortgage for $215,000. Other than that, make sure you call and check on your taxes.
You can get up to $165,000 for the purchase of this property. Again, based off of the as-is purchase price of $183,000. Again, $40,000 for the rehab and fit within the budget overall of an overall loan amount of $215,000 a year max.
Exterior of this house is kind of in average condition. The vinyl siding is in average condition, just needs some power washing. The windows look to be in decent shape, and there was no visible signs of repairs needed to the exterior.
The photographer couldn't wait for the fire truck.
Yeah.
He just walked around in front.
Okay, our next property now is 1030 Field Avenue in Plainfield. This home is approximately 1,875 square feet. Okay, so the information we found in this one, according to the MLS, is that this home is a custom expanded cape with 4 bedrooms and 4.5 baths. It has a living room with a fireplace, family room, also have a partially finished basement with a wet bar. The home has a greenhouse and a yard and an in-ground pool. This home, the taxes in this home are approximately $13,465 per year. This home can be resold around $305,000, budget at the minimum $30,000 for repairs, and you can rent this home for around $2,700 a month.
All right, so title on this property seems to be clear from what I can see here. Looks like there's a first and second mortgage on the property. Total load is right around $300,000. Just make sure you call and check on your taxes.
Based on these numbers, you can get up to about $187,000 for the purchase of this property. Rehab estimate, again, $30,000 fits in. Total loan amount for this would be no more than $229,000 based on its $305,000 ARV. I thought I said that it has a greenhouse, and it is a greenhouse, right?
It is a greenhouse. I said greenhouse.
A greenhouse.
It's a greenhouse. The roof on this house is a new timberline type roof in excellent condition. The siding in the house is in decent shape. The windows look to be older and may need to be replaced. And other than that, the property was in decent condition, but the driveway needs some repairs.
Nice area, actually.
Yeah.
Right on the park.
Yeah. Okay. It was nice. Needs a paint job.
Okay, our next property is 2036 Edison Terrace in Union. Not too much information on this side, so let's see what other info we found. Okay, according to the MLS, this is a single family home with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. The living area, I think the living area of this home is 3,490 square feet. This home was on the MLS and sold in as-is condition. The buyer is responsible for any repairs and/or open permits and municipal inspections. So be careful with that, because if that's mentioned in the MLS, there might be open permits. This home has approximately $7,128 per year in taxes. The home can be sold in good condition for about $275,000, budget $50,000 for repairs, and you can get about $1,800 in rent per month.
Yeah,
Yeah, the lot.
That's a lot area.
The lot area, that's too small.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Maybe they're missing a 0.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so title on this property, there seems to be a first and second mortgage on this property. Total loan amount of like $274. Everything else seems to add up on this. Just make sure you call and check on your taxes.
Yeah, based on the amounts listed, we could lend a max of $153,000 for purchase, $50,000 for rehab, for a total loan amount of no more than $206,000 based on an ARV of $275,000. It seems a little tight, but
Yeah, they probably went back. It looks like they probably did some major renovations here at some point.
yeah.
All right, this house, the roof on this house is an older 3-tab, which was in poor condition and definitely needs to be replaced. The siding on the house is in above average condition, looks to be recently renovated. The windows appear to be replacements in decent shape, and the front steps need some repairs.
Call Joe.
Right, our next property out, 45 East Emerson Avenue in Rahway. This home is approximately 1,824 square feet.
Luis's hometown.
Yes, my alma mater. Okay, so this home is a single family home with 4 bedrooms and 1 bath. It has a living area of 1,824 square feet, according to the MLS. It is on a corner lot and has a large eating kitchen. The taxes in this home are $6,463 per year. This home can be sold for about $250,000 when it's in good condition. Budget $40,000 for repairs, and you can get about $1,800 a month in rent.
And I just see your first mortgage on this property. Other than that, make sure you call and check on your taxes.
Based on the as-is price here, you can get up to $142,000 for the purchase of this property. $40,000 in rehab as well. All would fit into a max, actually, a max loan amount of about $182,000.
The overall condition of this house is found to be an average. Roof is a timberline type, which looks to be in good shape. Siding is vinyl in decent condition, needs to be cleaned. The windows look older, may still be functional, but might want to replace them with new energy efficient. The wood porch is in needed some minor repairs and paint, otherwise looks decent shape.
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, guys, our next property now is 1443 Franklin Street in Hillside. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into that next slide. Okay, so this home is a new construction single family home with 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. Unfortunately, the living area is off the tax records. I just checked records as well. 224 square feet is probably the size of the home that was there prior to this one. This is a bi-level home with a finished ground floor, which a lot of people tend to use as a mother-daughter. It has a family room and a wet bar down there right now. The home was built back in 2000 and has approximately $13,619 per year in taxes. Home can be resold for $300,000. You may want to budget 40 grand if it does need repairs, if it's been vandalized or if it has any damages. And you can get about $2,600 a month on this home for rent.
And from what I can see here, it just looks like there's a first mortgage on the property. Once again, last thing I'm going to say, make sure you check your taxes.
Yeah, on this property, you can get up to $174,000 for purchase, up to $50,000 rehab as well for total loan amount maxed out at $225,000.
This house roof appeared to be in average condition. The front of the house is stucco in good condition. The siding on the house is vinyl, and that's in average condition. The windows look to be new vinyl replacements, or I guess actually new if it's 2000. Overall, the property is well maintained and there was no visible signs of repairs needed.
Great, that'll do it for this week's presentation of our assets. Ladies and gentlemen, you will note that the Hudson sale will be next Thursday. That would be the 30th, I believe. Union will be next Wednesday, the 29th. And last but not least, Bergen will be next Friday. Okay, so again, the assets you just reviewed today will be called next week. At this particular time, we're going to review some of the questions that came up for this afternoon's pre-auction review. Luis?
Thank you, Bill. Our first question is it a good idea to check out county records in person for back taxes owed on a property, or is there a way to do that online? Craig, I'll let you answer that first, and I'll give you my two.
All right. So first thing is you wouldn't go to the county for it, you go to the town. The town's the one that's going to have the liens against the property. If there's lien holders that bought the tax, if there are outstanding taxes, you know what the interest rate is on them, you know who actually purchased them. But you'd want to contact the town. Sometimes you can go online and find out. Sometimes you can't. At almost every town you can call if you have to give them the block and lot or the property address. They'll let you know what's owed on the property if there's any liens against the tax liens against the property. So you can call the town itself and find out that information, but the county really wouldn't help you out with that.
The only thing I would add to that is that some municipalities are actually very tech friendly and they have all this data online. And in Middlesex County, you'll find a lot of the towns there do already have that. In Bergen County, they're pretty bad where they don't even answer their phone to give you that data. So you really have to know this stuff prior to doing the last minute research. You know, really find out which towns, keep a spreadsheet of which towns are going to be easy to find tax info on, which ones are going to be hard, and you should do it within a few days prior to. So, you know, hopefully one day they all come around and they all have the data on one system. But as of right now, it's all over the place.
You can also, hang on to that real quick, we do offer a service that's very inexpensive. If you do have a lot of properties you want to look at, you can run tax searches when it comes back with what's owed on the property, water, sewer, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Next question. Should I get title insurance on a property immediately after I purchase the property at an auction? Right.
Yes, You want to get your searches done. The second you've realized you won the bet, you really want to make sure you can then get your searches done. You know, if there is something that's sitting on the property, once you run out of that window of time for them to make your payment, that's really the only time you will go back to the sheriff and argue that there is outstanding title issues on the property, and then go back and figure out exactly how it's going to get fixed. So your best bet is when you do find out that you won the bid, you do want to get your search done almost immediately, if not beforehand.
Okay, next question. Do vacant properties typically sell for more at auctions? Well, the rule of thumb is that, yeah, because if it's vacant, that means they can start working on that property right away. They don't have to wait till they evict someone or eject someone from the home. So typically those are the properties that investors and homeowners, home buyers alike, they're gonna wanna get their hands on. So yeah, you're gonna see a premium on those as opposed to the occupied ones. But I'll give you one quick tip is that if the home is occupied, just knock on the door. Maybe the people are moving out. So that'll give you an advantage over everyone else, and you can get a home that will be vacant at a price of a home that people think is occupied. Next question. Is it necessary to get the sheriff's department to help evictions? Okay. Anyone want to take that?
Is it necessary to get the sheriff's department? I don't really want to take that.
Okay. Well, no, yes and no. The sheriff's department does not get involved in getting the evictions process. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. If they find out you're trying to illegally vacate somebody from the home during the time of the home not being in your name, you could get in big trouble. What you do need to do is talk to an attorney such as Joseph Gashko about doing an eviction or doing a ejectment or repossession on the property after you own it. You have to have the deed in hand. So make sure you have that first, and the way it's handled is going to be through the court system for sure. And I do not believe they're going to assign a sheriff. It might be someone in law enforcement, but I'm not sure if it's a sheriff that comes out. And I definitely don't think it's their duty to assist you with that when you buy the home. It's definitely a court procedure. Next question. Can you explain the basics of what I would need to do to obtain a hard money loan for one of these properties? Unfortunately, we don't have anyone here to answer that. So.
Yeah. Every lender is different. So if you're finding that you're not having luck with one lender versus another lender, you can shop around and see what's out there. They're all going to lend on different criteria. Some don't really care, what your credit score is, but they might be concerned with, why it is a certain way. But generally speaking, you want to have credit above 600. You want to have, if you're a first timer, the lender's going to want to see that you have anywhere between 20 and 30% of the purchase price in your bank account. You'll need about that much money. If you have more experience, you could need as little as 10% of the loan amount. So it really varies. So credit 600, capability to close the loan amount, needing the correct amount of money to fulfill your end of the responsibility. But at the end of the day, lenders are more lending on the property itself than really anything that you, a first-time borrower, is all about, because really that's their collateral there. So if you're not getting an answer you want from one lender, keep looking. Very competitive market. There's always someone these days to give you a loan for a property.
Okay, next question. Is there a way to get a loan for the amount of the deposit due on auction day? Dave, you want to?
Look, there is, generally, if you're calling, a big national hard money lender and saying, I have a property, I want you to advance me money to go to sheriff's sale, that's not going to happen. But if you have a really good relationship with a lender already, or the deal is just so outstanding, it's worth having a conversation with someone more local. I say someone more local. There are a lot of lenders. Again, we're based in New Jersey. We're not advertising on national platforms. But if you're online looking for hard money lenders, you're going to see national lenders pop up. Make a phone call. But for the most part, you're going to need, depending on the county, 10 or 20% down at a sheriff's sale. But there are lenders who will reimburse you that money if they're going to do the deal. You might have put 20% down at a sheriff's sale, and they're going to lend you, say, 95% of purchase. Maybe they'll give you that 15% back. So you probably won't get 100% to purchase. No one's going to give you a bag of money and say, go buy a property. It's probably not that likely unless you're super experienced.
Okay. Next question. Why do so many properties get postponed to a future auction? The reason why they get postponed are because there's most likely someone living in that home. And if there is, they're going to want to extend their time or their opportunity to save that property. In New Jersey, you're allowed to postpone the sale with no questions asked 2 times for 2 weeks each occurrence. And then they can even go in front of the judge and get more time. They can file bankruptcy as well. They can get the creditor, the bank. The bank could postpone it indefinitely if they're trying to work something out. And depending on what the bank wants to do, it could take years of postponements before it actually sells if it ever sells. So unfortunately, we don't know every reason why the banks do that, but they do. So it's pretty frustrating when you're following the property and it gets adjourned several times. So there's really no way to know. Next question. Is there a tip or trick to finding properties that don't get postponed or canceled? Okay. Yeah, there is. I mean, in every business, there's a pattern to everything. So what I found with sheriff sales is that your best opportunities are first run properties that have never been on an auction block before. Those have in my opinion, a 50-50 chance of going. Then you have your properties who've been adjourned twice. That's your second opportunity to have a really good chance of buying them. If they've been adjourned twice by the homeowner, the statutory adjournments, then that means there's a really good possibility that it's going to sell that day because they're all out of adjournments unless they go in front of the judge or unless the plaintiff adjourns it themselves. So those are the 2 best opportunities you'll find to buy in the sheriff's to get into properties at the sheriff's sale not being adjourned.
And what if I'm asking you, what if they've been adjourned once? Is there a strong likelihood it will be adjourned again?
Yeah, because they did it the first time, right? Now they can do it the second time. Is what I found.
And the judge will give you a hardship in most instances after that second time. They do have some compassion given the situation. So it could be up to 3 times, so it definitely depending on the situation.
And it's also different from like sometimes, for postponements and stuff like that. It's different from, a property just not being sold because the bank isn't finding that they're getting the price that they want. So that could be another reason I thought I saw a property come back earlier, and it comes back for those reasons as well. And in a market that's even tighter, banks kind of have the capability now and the manpower to really kind of wait where they weren't waiting a couple of years ago. They were just selling things off because there was so much inventory. Well, there's less now, so they're not necessarily needing to unload all these properties like they were.
Hudson County, perfect example.
Okay, next question. How can I tell if I am bidding on a first or a second mortgage? Craig, I'll let you take that.
All right, so normally it's announced what you're bidding on, or you can ask, but the best way to know is to get, if you're looking at one property in particular, get an investment search done on it that it'll really give you the full background of the property, that you know exactly what's going on, exactly who's owed, the whole history of the property. So you really go in there armed with knowledge of what's a decent offer to put in and what you think the bank will probably accept.
Our next question, what is a reasonable ballpark budget for rehabbing a foreclosed property or foreclosure property? Jim, I'll let you take that one. Do you have a way of budgeting for that?
No, and that's what every house is actually different. It depends what you want to do with the house. And the value of the neighborhood. Sometimes you want to go in there and do a quick flip. You want to just clean it up to the least amount of work you have to do to get your value back out of the property. And sometimes you want to go in and do a full-blown renovation, maybe one of the nicer houses in the neighborhood to get your maximum value out of it. I mean, to me, that's house by house situation. You can look at if you want to just look at the value, look at the exterior of the house and see if it's in good shape. If you can't see the interior, you can figure the interior is in good shape, or you just worst case scenario.
I would actually talk to someone like Lewis, or if you have a realtor in your area that you speak with who goes inside of these houses when estimating the budget, because they have to, you can't try to take on a huge project that's going to have a huge budget and put, cheap countertops in a $1 million home. Like, you really got to know what you're doing, and the person that's in those houses and knows what the comps are going to look like day in, day out is someone like Luis. So there's no finite answer or fixed answer to this problem. It is literally, as Jim said, a case-by-case scenario. But you're not going to be able to put cheap fixes in expensive houses. You're not going to want to put expensive fixes inexpensive houses. You're not going to get the value.
Thank you, guys. Our last question is, what is a construction lien? Greg, what's a construction lien?
It's a construction lien. That's the easiest way to answer that question.
Right. We had this happen again. We were doing a rehab in Kentucky, and they weren't paying their contractors. So all of a sudden, those projects came to construction.
Yeah, construction liens are interesting because it's one of those things where you can put a construction lien against the property, but they have a certain amount of time to file an LP and actually put the judgment against the property. If they don't do it in that time period, it does drop off. We see a lot that they don't end up doing it, so they normally stick around for a couple of months and then they're gone. But that is another thing that you can get a search done to find out. But in most cases, if it is a judgment against the property, it's named and served and it's wiped out with the foreclosure judgment. Hope that is your question.
Okay, that's all.
For your auction review. We'll be back next week here at Cultural Estates for the Monmouth, Middlesex, and Ocean pre-auction review. That'll be at 12 noon. Please tune in to auction.com/online review. You can also get information about our upcoming events at auction.com/event calendar. On behalf of auction.com, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Luis?
Thank you. All right, I'll let the panel close out, guys. If you can let them know how to find you.
Once again, I'm Jim Thorpe from Jersey Strong Construction. My phone number is 908-720-2674. Email is jerseystrongco@aol.com. You can also find us on our webpage at www.jerseystrongconstruction.com or on Facebook.
All right, thanks. I'm David Weintraub. Again, I work for First Equity Funding. We're hard money lenders. You can reach me at dweintraub@fefunding.com. Make it easy. Or call me at 646-528-9575.
Greg Petrosky, Fortune Title.
You should be spelling out your name. Mine's tricky.
Yeah, but my email is really easy. So my email address is Greg, G-R-E-G, @Fortune, the letters REO.com. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. We do everything from title insurance, searches to settlements. So, like I said, if you have any questions about a property, if you have any future title questions, or if you are looking to get an investor search or find out what we can do for you, you can either shoot me an email or you can always call me. Our number is 973-226-6555. My extension is 128. You can speak to anybody in the office.
Or if you're getting into real estate, Thank you guys.